You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmonds, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Mr. Charlie Touche, Go Time Dolphin fans, Miami Dolphin fans, in what can only be described as a abysmal 60 minutes of football, the Miami Dolphins overcome the New England Patriots 15-10. It was closer than it should have been, but somehow, some way, the Miami Dolphins came up with the dub to move themselves to 2-3 on the season heading into the bye. To discuss all that and more, as always, I'm joined by Mr. Charlie Touche. Charlie, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmonds, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Kadeem, the Miami Dolphins are 2-3 on the season and 1.5 games out of first place in the division. Where's your panic meter on Panic Meter Monday?
It hasn't moved. It's still on a 2. The team aren't playing well, but they got the dub. And sometimes you have to win ugly. Sometimes you have to win looking like Quasimodo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. No matter how you do it, you just get that win. So, yeah, I think in terms of everything that could have gone wrong, nearly went wrong yesterday. But I think there's some positives heading into the bye and coming out of the bye. How about you?
So I went over this panic meter thing, and I had to think, and I had to be real. If we're a 1, that means 2 is playing. And, we're not tripping and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's just a regular week. We lost, whatever. Panic meter is just a 1. Like, that means things are normal. So the fact that he's not in, panic meter has to go up a little bit. I should have been, in hindsight, I should have been at a 3. When the past couple episodes when we talk about panic meter, the answer should have been a 3. I'm at a 2 now. I'm at a 2. Like, listen, we're a game in it, and I understand everybody like, yo, I wanted to win a division. I wanted to have the 1 seed. I wanted to go to the Super Bowl. Well, the Super Bowl is not in week 6. You know what I'm saying? And we still got time. So now that we're only a game and a half out of the division, we have a bye week this week. I was about to say Tua comes back, but the NFL is sneaky, boy. NFL is funny like that. So you have the bye week this week coming up, and then you have Indianapolis, and that's in week 8. And then you have week 8 where Tua is available to come back. But to my knowledge, Kadeem, he hasn't cleared concussion protocol yet.
So I think Mike McDaniel said today being Monday, that like he's meeting with some more. Him being Tua, meeting some more urologists this week, but he can't clear concussion protocol until he returns to training. But he can't return to training until he comes off IR. So there's nothing negative. It's still positive. He's still trending in the right direction. But for him to get that final clearance, he basically needs to be taken off IR, start training, so then the concussion protocol couldn't start, unless you're Josh Allen, at which point the concussion protocol isn't a thing. But that's a whole other conversation right now.
It actually isn't a whole nother conversation right now because you just invoked it, so we're going to have to talk about it right now. Listen, as the only podcast that I know of, Kadeem, you know I throw this out there from time to time, and unfortunately more so than ever this season, but as the only podcast that I know of, or I should say Miami Dolphins podcast that I know of, that has an annual CTE awareness episode, mental health awareness episode. Every year we have one. I'm watching the for those who don't know, the Buffalo Bills played Houston Texans. They lost. The Texans lost. The Texans won. Buffalo lost. In the most crucial time of the game, Josh Allen was, I want to say, scrambling and got hit, and his head bounced violently off the turf. It's not even that. It might be natural grass, but off the ground, bounced violently off the ground. And this was, and Kadeem, this is not overdoing it. It was the most violent hit, like his head hitting off the ground in football, that I've seen in the past few years. Like, it was worse than the Richardson head trauma. It was worse than all of Tua's hits when his head bounced off the ground. This one had some, like, I'm like, I don't want to see nobody go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think, Kadeem, I became such a softie in my old age, Kadeem. Like, I'm like, man, I get so emotional. But I'm like, I don't want to see this. You know what I'm saying? And then, even though it's Josh Allen's, like, my heart goes out to dude. Dude was laying motionless on the ground. I tuned in for a Sunday morning football game, and I got a UFC fight with a unconscious athlete on the ground. Or so I thought. Medical staff runs out to the field. Josh Allen is attended to. They roll him over. He looked a little out of it, because I ain't gonna lie to you, he looked like he was gone. I'm like, dang, that boy gone. And first thing, my heart went out first. You know what I'm saying? Being real, my heart went out first, and then it went kind of to football. Like, dang, what's the next play they're gonna call, stuff like that. And then as he walked off, I'm like, dang, I wonder how long this is gonna take. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder how long. And then, bro, Tua didn't come to mind first thought. You know what I'm saying? And 30 seconds in, now that I had time to, watch this, I'm like, oh, okay, Buffalo, let's see how you guys handle it now. We don't have to be the talk of the conversation. And it's like, bro, I think we're at a point in concussions, Kadeem, where a football player gets a concussion, everyone thinks of Tua. And I'm like, dang, bro, it's unfortunate, but now y'all could be on the spotlight now. And I'm going to give you the floor, Kadeem. They're not gonna be on the spotlight, because not only did Josh Allen say he's not going to the tent, dude came out the tent, ran back onto the field, and finished the game. What do you got for me, Kadeem?
So there's a few things to kind of add there. Like, obviously, when people talk about the two concussions, they talk about the fencing. But Josh Allen, when he hit his head, he's, in my opinion, and a lot of others' opinion, he's out cold. He's wrist is limp, like he's not even to like make light work of it. He's sleeping. He's on the field. Everyone's like, yo, that's not good. They put him into a blue tent. He comes back out smelling salts, and he goes back out. But he goes back out and he plays abysmal. I don't think he completed a pass after he came back. And my first thought went back to the Green Bay game, Christmas, where Tua gets concussed, but no one realizes it. Tua comes out for his 3 interceptions, and on the podcast, we're like, that's unusual for Tua. Like, yes, he throws interceptions, but they were just bad. We all know what happens after. It's interesting that on the same day Josh Allen hits his head, Devon Achane goes in, running the ball, bang, bang, collision. He's not out cold, but you can tell he's not okay.
No. Concussion. I think it's out cold.
No, because he kind of like, he's on his knees, head down, like he's moving, but he's not like.
All right, we're not doctors, right? Me and Kadeem are not doctors. I'm gonna give it back to you. But even when Tua's last concussion, and bro, you guys don't know how much I hate that we have to have these conversations when we're talking about football. Like, concussions take up the whole segment. But when Tua was fencing the last one against Buffalo, his body was rolling over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was fencing and he was moving at the same time, body rolling over. It almost looked like he was asking for help. And you see it in combat sports. Someone gets concussed and their body does certain things and moves around. And I thought, in my opinion, that's what I seen Achane's body doing. I thought he was out and his body just took over, and he was kind of fencing, but without his extremities doing the fencing. But that's what I thought I seen.
But I think, like, even if that is the case, like, Josh Allen was out cold, like he wasn't moving.
I agree.
And I think this listen, this is a Dolphins review. We will get back to the game, but I think that's when people talk about not knowing concussions and brain trauma, all that kind of stuff. For at the very least, Josh Allen to be out cold, not moving, but to not be deemed a concussion, everyone's just like, yo, this makes no sense. Listen, the Bills lost, the Dolphins won. It's definitely a conversation. Obviously, I'll give back to you, but definitely a conversation for the next CT episode because in a season where the NFL comes out and said that concussions in the league are down, but the Dolphins have had 4 in Achan, Kendall Fuller, Teron Armstead, and Tua. And then Josh Allen gets one, and yet 4 Dolphins players were taken out of a game, probably missed game time, but Josh Allen comes back in like nothing happens. Yeah.
But yeah, I listen, I think this is like, we have to hit this, and I'm only going to spend like 30, 45 more seconds on this because yes, we want to get to the review, but I don't want to gloss over this. Like the whole NFL media has glossed over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, this has to be talked about. Shout out to Dr. Brian Suterer. We added a link last time on the concussion episode when Tua went down, and he had his opinion on it. And we added a link to the video. We will also add Dr. Brian Suterer's link on the Josh Allen concussion to this video. Kadeem, I love mixed martial arts, bro. Like I want to like spar and compete and jiu-jitsu matches and all this other good stuff. I got a concussion in training before. I love mixed martial arts. When someone gets punched, bro, and they fall, and they go down, right? But maybe they're not out. There's a chance that person is concussed. You know what I'm saying? So even if they're not out, there's a chance they're concussed. So even when they go out for a second or two, there's a place in UFC fights where someone gets knocked out, boom, and he sleep on the ground, and within 2 seconds, the opponent lands on him and punches him again, right? And then wakes him up. True story. It happens all the time. So here we seen Josh Allen laid out on the ground, not making fun of him. Like you said, he was sleeping, bro. He was out. Let's get into the post conversation where he said, "Oh, it was an ankle injury. Oh yeah, my ankle was hurt. I was out of there, bro. My ankle was killing me." You know what I'm saying? So the trainers all the while didn't even look at his ankle the whole time he was on the ground. So you talk to this dude. He says he has an ankle injury, and you don't check his ankle. At the end of the game, the team says it's a chest injury. That's all we're going to say. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying, about Josh Allen. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on, especially when we're talking about concussions. I don't like that the Dolphins are the team for it. And I think the NFL has something against us because like you seen Miami Dolphins, well, this is what we're going to do to you. And then they snatched Teddy Bridgewater out the very next game when he wasn't even dazed at all. So I don't like what's going on. And I also said on the record that I think the fix is in with the NFL, bro. I think I'm telling you, they're going to find somebody one day and be like, hey, Tua can never come back. We're done with Tua. The NFL's and NFL came out and said, we're going to stay out the way and let the neurologists do their thing. I doubt that, bro. And it might not be this time, but I think the NFL is going to get involved, and they want to. It's going to be a cover up somewhere, in my opinion.
Hopefully, we don't get to that stage. Rob says the protocol is only as good as the person administering it. He adds, had that been a primetime game, no way Allen would have been back in. And first time I've ever seen smelling salts being used for an ankle or chest injury, which is so true. So true.
Bro, I don't want to laugh, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Like, I think, my final word would be it's the silence across the NFL. Like, there's a few like Chris Nowinski and a few doctors are talking about it, but the silence from the Pat McAfee and a whole bunch of others, like, again, it's not a Tua injury, it's not a Tua v Josh Allen situation, any of that kind of stuff. But please just keep the same energy throughout, because these are people's lives. These are, human beings who have families and stuff like that. And at the very least, the optics, weren't good for Josh Allen.
Kadeem, I'm gonna let you go. This is the last thing I say about concussions, period, for this episode. But for everyone saying Tua should retire, my rebuttal is always, and I'm not saying he shouldn't, and I'm not saying he should, But my buttle is always, well, what about the other players? Do y'all care about the other players when something traumatic happens? If you don't, why is it just Tua? And if you do, why aren't you saying something about something like this when a player goes back in and risks his health long term? You know what I'm saying? And didn't get the medical attention. So I don't understand how that conversation goes for some people to lean on one side or the other and are loud and then quiet. Like, it's just, if you're going to care about athletes, care about athletes. And if you don't care about them, don't care about them. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. But I didn't expect to get a full conversation about Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Maybe it's because the Dolphins, even though they won, Charlie, they stank. Charlie, that game was abysmal. That game was, and it started off so well. The Dolphins, great drive down the field, ends in 3. But like, you know what? It's the first lead the Dolphins had all season, and you can build on it. Not going to break down every single play, but that first half was, if anyone wanted to believe that the Dolphin players were trying to get Mike McDaniel and his coaching staff fired, go back and watch that first half, because it was a mistake after ill discipline after that. The play that summed up, I think 2 plays that summed up that first half. The botched field goal where the snap to Jake Bailey's really bad, and then like Jason Sanders doesn't kick it and all that kind of stuff, and the Dolphins get down into the red zone, and then Aaron Brewer snapped the ball to Tyler Huntley, who's not paying attention, and you have to punt the ball away. What did you make of that first half, Charlie?
So the Dolphins win 15-10. The under hits, and I'm not completely sure what I said the easy money pick of the week was, Kadeem. And I knew I went back and forth between the under and Tyreek Hill finally getting 40 yards. But the under hit and Tyreek Hill got 69 yards. So the easy money pick hit. I don't remember what it was, but it hit. I turned the corner on Jason Sanders. And I'm all for adversity, and kickers aren't always going to be perfect. And I make jokes of kickers, and kickers should wear K's and punters should wear P's. I really believe that. I'm just saying that's not a joke, but I really do believe that. But Jason Sanders has been wishy-washy for us. If you're a Dolphin fan, there's times where he saved us. He's saved us, Kadeem. He won us this game. You know what I'm saying? After he almost lost us this game. So he saved us. And I don't believe we should be at the mercy of Jason Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And there's some people who will say that about Tua, but that's a little different of a conversation. So I don't believe we should be at the mercy of Jason Sanders, where you like, I don't know what we're going to get when Jason Sanders comes in. You know what I'm saying? And he'll hit from 58 and then miss from 48. You feel me? So it's like, I'm not here for that no more. And I need a kicker. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I think maybe months ago I was like, no, Jason Sanders, I'm in on Jason Sanders. So I'm not coming back in on Jason Sanders. I ain't gonna lie to you. He could save us as many times as he wants, but the inconsistency, I cannot go for it, bro. What you got?
If the Dolphins reach the Super Bowl and there's a 57-yard field goal to win the Super Bowl, I put money on Jason Sanders to make that kick. Walk off field goal to win. Jason Sanders, money. Like, you know what? I'd be celebrating before he even. I'm like, yo, we got this. I got this 100%. The same time, if there's 2 minutes left and the Dolphins are up by 3, and a field goal puts us up by 6, and it's a 27-yard field goal, Jason Sanders, he's missing that, and he's shanking it left. And it's like, yo, like it's like he truly believes that adversity, whatever coach says, is like, if it's not an adverse situation, I don't actually care. And you're right. You can't rely on that, because we speak about the week 1 and the fumble, all that kind of stuff. We don't need the walk-off field goal if Jason Sanders makes the earlier field goal in the game, which kind of just gets, people don't talk about. Same way this week, if Jason Sanders, he missed, so he scores 1 field goal, misses another, you've then got the one he does make, but I think the Patriots called a timeout. So when they go to retake the field goal, it's a botched snap. And it's just like, Oh,
Then we have a punt block. We had a punt block too.
The punt block was a whole nother situation as well. But like as Rob says, I think Danny Crossman was concussed. Geez, because how can you train players that bad on special teams? Special teams in again in a day where we'll get to the defense, but in a day where every single unit looks bad, special teams look like they hadn't even played football before, and it's just like, again, you can talk about adversity, you talk about all that kind of stuff, but basics, my gosh, was special teams horrendous. And I'm not here for calling for people's jobs because I might support a team, but it's someone's livelihood. Danny Crossman, I believe, was fortunate to keep his job the season just gone. If things don't turn around massively, I can't see how he stays next year. I just can't, because this team, so this unit is probably the worst unit in the league in terms of special teams.
And it's even, you know, Coach McDaniel came out, and actually you really don't hear this often in football circles, like the special teams coach getting talked about by the head coach. So Coach McDaniel came out, I want to say last offseason, and said, well, you know, a lot of people don't know. Basically, and I'm paraphrasing a lot, and I'm just giving you the gist of what he said. Danny Crossman didn't have what he needed to have a good special teams unit, meaning the personnel. So the people that we have kind of don't play special teams. So now we're bringing in other people for special teams. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what McDaniel said. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. Because I don't know what a special teams coach needs to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So I had to remove myself from that conversation. Be like, all right, well, if coach says it and coach's job is on the line. So he came into Danny Crossman. So I gotta believe like there's some merit there that, all right, well, coach, your job is on the line too. You feel me? So I can live with that. But I can't live with Jason Sanders being sometime, dog. I can't, dog. And I'm done. And I need a kicker, Holmes. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But back to the meat and potatoes. Dolphins look terrible, bro. And once again, I'm glad Tua was on the sideline with the front row seat to see how bad we look. Like, yo, Tua, bro, you can't put us in this situation no more. You know what I'm saying? So all that being said, Huntley does his best, doesn't run the ball. And I don't understand why coach isn't calling zone reads, why he isn't calling quarterback sweeps and powers and stuff. Maybe, well, you want me to run this quarterback and get him hurt? Maybe he can say that. He can say that. And then what? And then what? But you have to win by any means necessary, Kadeem. We have to get W's, bro. Because if we lose this one, and the Bills win, and if was a fifth, we already know how that goes. Yeah, you're in a bad situation. My panic meter goes up to about a 4. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still chilling. You feel me? But at the same time, nah, man, you gotta, bro. We need to win by any means necessary. Tyler Huntley, literally, and I mean this in the literal sense, as literal as possible, look just like Lamar Jackson when he played for the Ravens and he was running around and gaining yards on the feet. I'm like, oh, that's not even Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't do none of that right now. And I don't know if it's to appease the coaches to say, yeah, man, I want this opportunity and I would love to be the backup for Tua long term. So I'm going to just do what they tell me to do. And I'm going to show them that I can make the plays and make the passes. Nah, bro, I need you to make sure you can make the wins and show these boys like, nah, man, I'm saving the team. So if you got to put the team on your legs, I was going to say on your back, but your legs seems more fitting. If you got to put the team on your legs, we got to get these W's, bro. Because now we're only a game and a half out, and Tua should be back soon.
Shout out to Al Francisco. He says, man, Dolphins did everything they could to lose that game and somehow come up with a W. Yeah, it was, you know, to kind of go back to the Tyler Huntley stuff, there was just before the Alec Ingo touchdown, which is funny that Alec Ingo scored a touchdown now, when last year we're like, yo, hit that Alec Ingo anytime touchdown.
I was a year early. I was a year early on the Alec Ingo anytime touchdown.
Jakey messaged me, was just like, yo, like the one time I don't bet on the Alec Ingo touchdown. But yeah, like when we got down to the red zone, I was saying to 5-Yard Lee, so I watched the game at the official Miami Dolphins London watch party. There's stories, there's photos, there's videos. I was like, yo, if there's ever a time to run a power QB run or a read option in the red zone, now's the time. We don't do it.
That was it, Kadeem. Like, we never done it. We don't do it. And everyone is expecting to run. Shout out to Raheem Mostert for going vintage Raheem Mostert. Matter of fact, Raheem Mostert, you can stay on the team as long as you want. I don't care how old you are, bro. I don't care what people say about you. I don't care how many running backs they come and they're younger than you, and then they're going to get the shine over you. Bro, you can stay on the team as long as you want, because all Raheem Mostert does is deliver, Kadeem.
Yeah. So Damo says, in the third quarter, I finally just tweeted that the first team to screw up less will win by default. And then Rob says, according to NFL stats, Dolphins had 160 rushing yards, 5.2 yards per carry, with fullback Alec Ingold on field. When Ingold was off the field, it was 26 yards. Ingold was his MVP of the game. Make sure to head on to Patreon probably tomorrow, although it will be recorded today, for our game balls to see who we give our game balls out to. Before we talk about the defense and injuries on the defense, what do you make of Tyler Huntley throwing? And I say that because I thought we had some really good throws. This team still has drop issues. Jalen Waddle, I'm looking at you. Please learn to catch the ball and catch the ball with your hands on your chest. Like, these drops, they're not it. But I did think there's a few times where Huntley was scrambling and his throws were off, and especially towards the end of the game before that touchdown, I think he throws into like double coverage with like Odell Beckham and Tyreek Hill, and I was like, yo, that's not the throw to make, and I can kind of see why he's on the practice squad. But what do you make of Tyler Huntley's passing throughout the game?
So real quick, because you brought up Alec Ingold and Coach. Bro, Coach is so dope with designing some of these plays. Now he has Alec Ingold lining up in the slot and coming in motion to run like a wham counter. Like, it is the wildest concept. Like, I know he's probably the first coach in the NFL to do this with a fullback. Like, bro, I appreciate what Coach does with his innovation and his creativity. It's second to none, bro. Tyler Huntley, he's been on the team for a cup of tea. That's as long as he's been on the team, Kadeem. And he has to get comfortable, doesn't know the plays, probably got a limited playbook, and he wants to win. He got stuff on his mind. Bruh, probably don't even got furniture in his apartment. True story. You feel me? So shout out anything Tyler Huntley gives us, I'm appreciative of it, and I will not criticize his decision making. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Nah, don't listen. Those excuses are grade A excuses for someone who is just making awful throws. Nothing to do with playbook. It's, yo, there's a guy in double coverage and you're throwing it, or there's a guy wide open and you're throwing it out of bounds. Here for 2 weeks, but you're an NFL quarterback.
Hold on, don't get it twisted. When you should throw the ball away, throw the ball away. I'm not saying nothing about that, but I am saying dude is actually trying to make nah, bro. I'm gonna defend Tyler Huntley a little bit. The team is miserable, Kadeem. They're terrible. So it's like, yo, I gotta make something happen. This is what you want, right? This is what people want. Like, so, bro, listen, Kadeem. He was a practice squad player. He wasn't a starter somewhere that we brought in. He wasn't even a backup somewhere that we brought in. He was a practice squad player. He needs his reps, and he's getting his reps in 60 plays a game in the regular season. That's not how you want to break somebody in. So you have to expect you're going to get throws like this. You're going to get bad decisions. You're going to get bad throws. We're going to get bad football from Tyler Huntley and the Miami Dolphins right now. We're just hoping for a outcome that's in our favor. That's all we're doing. We're hoping. I can't really expect us to win, although I would like to think we could beat some of these teams. If Coach would call better plays, I believe you would put Tyler Huntley in a better decision where he don't have plays like that. Like, yo, run the ball more. I believe that. I believe that's more on Coach than it is on Tyler Huntley.
I think in previous weeks, yeah, but I think yesterday the Dolphins ran the ball a lot. And again, Tyler Huntley has some good throws. He connected with Jonnu Smith, some nice connections with Waddle. He managed to find Tyreek Hill. And again, I said to 5-yard lead as the game was going on, and some of those throws, This is why Tyler Huntley was on the practice squad. And listen, we've played bad teams, which is why we won yesterday. But this whole Tyler Huntley's going to come in and, win 2 games or win 3 games. I personally believe what we've seen from Tyler Huntley is why he was on the practice squad. Because even if some of the plays or some of the issues I had with him yesterday wasn't so much about bad play calling. It was, again, you're driving down the field to take the lead in the 4th quarter, and you're throwing the ball up, and it's like 3v2, and it's not even a good throw. That to me isn't starter backup. That's a bad throw. And if it gets intercepted, you can't blame coach for a bad play call when the quarterback is scrambled.
Yes, you can. Because you could be like, because coaches put players in positions to win and to be successful. So coach hasn't
but hold on. So this particular play is, and I can probably find a video. We can check on Patreon. There's a window-ish where like Hill and Odell Beckham are open, and that window closes, and Huntley still tries to. It's like, it's not like a dart. It's a lofted throw into the end zone. It's like, this is that. It should have been picked off. It didn't, and obviously we drive down the field, we win, great, brilliant. But I'm just saying, from what I saw of Huntley yesterday, is why he was on a practice squad, and him being better than Skylar Thompson isn't an achievement. But Skylar Thompson is just booty butt cheeks. Like, there's nothing. That's just my opinion.
I knew he was going to say something about buns. Listen, the reason why I say Huntley is more on coach than it is Huntley. I'm not absolving Huntley of looking terrible or have terrible decisions or bad passes. But and even if they were open and he missed the window, I get all of that. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, coaches are supposed to put you in positions to be successful. And all right, I said that already. I'll say this. Shout out real quick. I'm going to insert this and I'm going to go somewhere else. Shout out to Landon Roberts, former Miami Dolphin, and former Miami Dolphin Minkah Fitzpatrick, bro. I don't know if y'all caught that Monday night game or the Sunday night game, but Landon Roberts had one of the most epic football plays I've ever seen in my life. Not even exaggerating. Dove over the pile on the 1 yard line, a la what's your boy with the long hair? Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Troy Polamalu knocks the ball out on the 1 yard line, fumble. Minkah Fitzpatrick in slow motion diving was about to do exactly the same thing. Them boys, that was epic football right there. I enjoyed it. Kadeem, I got something for you. I don't know if you caught this, but if you can, watch the game at the end of the game where the Dolphins were up. I don't remember how the Patriots got the ball. I think we punted. Yeah, I think we punted, and the Patriots got the ball back. This is the last drive of the game.
30 seconds left.
The Patriots are driving on the Dolphins for the game. This is it. This is after Raheem Mostert and the Miami Dolphins could have won it on our side of the ball and went for it. Now, I don't say went for it, but could have got the first down. We would have won the game. You see what I'm saying, right? But we didn't win, so we had to punt it. The Miami Dolphins had, I want to say 3 timeouts. I'm pretty sure it was 3 timeouts. We had all of our timeouts left because coach thinks we could take timeouts to the Super Bowl with us and use them and cash them in, but we can't. The Patriots get the ball back and they start driving. It is the last play of the game, in essence, and the defense calls timeout. I want y'all to see this. I believe there was a timeout discrepancy on the sideline. I believe Coach McDaniel did not want to call that timeout. Like, no, we're going to need him. We have like a minute left. We're going to have to get back down the field to get in field goal range. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need these timeouts. Do not call timeout. You know what I'm saying? Stop them. And I believe, I don't have any insight. I believe the timeout was called, I don't want to say unbeknownst to Coach McDaniel, but against McDaniel's will. I believe someone else called the timeout. And in essence, I'll be real. If you stop them on defense here, the game is over. You win. So it's like, yo, why save these timeouts and hold them to try to win the game on offense when you could just call timeout here, stop him here and end the game here. I think there was a discrepancy. And then there's actual footage of Coach McDaniel looking pretty upset. How many times have you seen Coach McDaniel upset, Kadeem? Be real.
A few.
I don't think I've seen him upset like mad more than 5 times in 3 seasons, bro. This is third season, yeah. In 3 seasons, I haven't seen him mad more than 5 times, and he looked visibly disturbed, bro. And I think someone called timeout without his permission, but I could be wrong.
Shout out to the eagle-eyed 5-yard league, because I know the exact play you're talking about. He said to me, I was watching the game, he said, look at Tyus Bowser. He's trying to call a timeout because something's right on the field, and the Dolphins call it. There's a whole bunch of comments which we'll get to. So JML says, I don't know. So he starts off by saying, didn't they take away a 35-yard rush away from Jalen Wright? Jalen Wright looked very good yesterday. I don't know if I missed this part earlier in the show, guys, but what's your opinion on why the hell is Julian Hill still out there? Just put them Smythe out there. Very quickly, what do you make of Julian Hill? Because he's getting a lot of flack on social media.
Yeah, because he's what else we got, Kadeem? Like what we gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? We got Durham Smythe. Like, Durham Smythe got a contract because his homeboy Mike Gesicki got him the deal, and then Mike Gesicki's not even here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. We need a tight end.
Yeah, Julian Hill, he's had some bad drops and a lot of penalties, but the tight end room, like Durham Smythe, after a great year last year, has kind of regressed this year, so it is what it is.
Tight end room is not a highlight of the Dolphins franchise right now.
Not at all. Rob says, we passed the ball loads better when the passes between the hashes. You noticed the second half, we took away most of the pre-snap moves and we played better. JML says, defensive linemen are shorter. Nose tackles are the shortest for leverage, while defensive ends are tall. Monsters on the outside. Our quarterback is only 6 feet, so we can see better up the middle. Guards and center are shorter. Color commentary with probably the best emoji. It is like that is someone drinking color. So that's drunk color, drinking coffee. It looks like so pretty dope emoji. JML says Stephen Ross owes me a paycheck for watching that game.
Are we sure that he was drinking coffee? Because
it's coffee or beer, but he's drinking something. It's a dope emoji. Rob said just on Huntley, he missed an easy throw.
No. Maybe he was drinking poison because it's a Dolphin fan and he was drinking something, and his eyeballs was red. Like, yo, get me out of here. I don't know.
That's why it's coffee. He's tired. He's trying to drink the coffee to like wake himself up. Yeah, Huntley, he missed an easy throw in the end on our 2-point conversion where he was flushed out right. Quick question: your thoughts on the decision to go for 2 at the end?
I like it. Win the game. I am all in favor of winning the game as early as you could win the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you get that, obviously, bro, there's some 4th downs where I know coach was chomping at the bit.
100%.
I want to go for it. Bro, I know coach wants to go for it. So I'm in favor of winning the game when you could win the game. And if you could win the game, obviously we would have won the game with that 2-point conversion, but it would have secured a lot of things for us if we did. And then that's why, you know, the defense called time out, hey, yo, we want to make this one stop here. And I know some people aren't fans of the zero coverage, but there was a zero coverage that won us the game that on the last play of the game. So, yeah, the 2-point conversion meant as the Dolphins got it, it's 17-10, and the Patriots have to score a touchdown. If they don't get it, which they didn't get it, the Patriots could score a touchdown to win, but an extra point does nothing for the Dolphins. So, yeah. Mr. Fincher says, what's up, Color? Color says, Kadeem is right about the practice squad, though. My issue is Waddle could join him there. Definitely a conversation about Waddle to be had soon. Rob says, I think the one you're on about, Kadeem, Tyreek had to make a pass breakup. Otherwise, it was a pick. It was a loopy, soft throw. Al Francisco says, Tyler is not even running as much before. He tries to stay in the pocket, but he's not accurate. That was a sweep. J-Mo says, that was a sweet punch out by Tyreek. Thank goodness he did that. Color said, elite wide receivers do that. And then made a joke. JML said, what? You mean timeouts don't roll over to the Super Bowl? One last thing I want to get to before we head into bonus time, because I got a bit of fun from the watch party to talk about. You seen the news about Javon Holland?
I don't know how busy you've been today.
Yeah, so Javon Holland hurt his hand in the game. He actually pulled from the game, and reports are that he's going to miss some time.
Yeah, so it's a broken hand. But coach has said on Monday that it's probably week to week. So I'm not in favor of early bye weeks, but with Achan concussion, Javon Holland broken hand, it probably comes.
Tua needs time.
Yeah, it probably comes at a good time. Shout out to, I missed a few comments as well. Shout out to Mr. Fencer says McDaniel is giving me more and more of the Adam Gase vibes. Shout out to my new friend Miss Finns, or friends from before, but obviously met her in Miami as we met Zach Thomas and Richmond Webb. She said the win was rough to watch, and says, "Hey guys, JML says, so you're saying I should just go ahead and get the ghost of Mike McDaniel on X? That probably would be a pretty decent Twitter handle to get JML, and probably should try and get it as soon as possible." All in all, Charlie, what did you make? Like, we got the dub. Any final thoughts from you?
Shout out to Miss Fins. We kind of like passed each other on other podcasts before. Shout out to Miss Fins. Shout out to Share Ride Steve, bro. Hit my phone like, bro, I've never been more excited about going into a bye week in my life. I feel you, bro. Like, yo, we absolutely needed this bye week. We gotta collect, we gotta regroup, we gotta regather, we gotta get grounded. You know what I'm saying? Like the paper planes are grounded in London. Gotta like that. Gotta love it.
Absolutely beautiful. What I'll say quickly, after that win, you kind of want to play again to try and keep that momentum going. But I think the Dolphins are just so banged up. It's like, yo, let's get healthy, get some guys back. You know, Raheem Mostert probably played more than he expected to yesterday.
He was supposed to be on the pitch count.
Yeah, that pitch coming out the window early. So, you know, let him recover. I think Kendall Fuller went down at some point. You know, Odell Beckham only played like 11 snaps. Cam Smith was out, but I just feel like the Dolphins, you know, Dolphins could probably use some of these players coming back very, very soon. But yeah,
bro, Tyreek Hill had that catch in the end zone that looked like a touchdown, but he was out of bounds. Bro,
yes,
that was an incredible effort. I'm like, yo, that's a dude right there. So come on over to bonus time with us. We're gonna keep chopping it up. Kadeem's gonna tell us about the watch party in London. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmonds, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So Color said not elite, but a decent throw on that too. And yeah, it was a good throw. Unlucky for Hill to not come down with it. Miss Finn said, great show, guys. And then Color said, yeah, bonus time. So bonus time. We'll start with a few photos. Shout out to Ray. Charlie, I feel like you needed to be at this watch party, as it says Charlie at the bottom, and not Go Time Dolphins. Yeah, so basically the Miami Dolphins held a London watch party. And yeah, it was amazing. Shout out to Ray. He said, and I quote, Charlie should be the GM of Go Time Dolphins, of the Miami Dolphins. And basically, when it comes to picking, Charlie is one of the best. Just pick from Touche 24, and you would be sorted. So yeah, I managed to get a photo with Ray. But yeah, Charlie, he says hi, and he is a huge, huge fan of yours and the show in general. So shout out to Ray.
So Kadeem Simmonds was at a watch party, official Miami Dolphins watch party in London. And every time I go to London, it's usually around NFL week. What do you guys call it in London? Is the NFL? What is it? NFL week?
International series.
International series, right? So usually, me and the boys go over to London. We chop it up with Kadeem. That's actually how I met Kadeem. And this year, the Dolphins aren't playing internationally, so I didn't go. And I'm like, man, I think I might just have to go to London every year for the international series, regardless if the Dolphins play or not. And I think I'm gonna make that a thing next season, Kadeem. So you're gonna be seeing me once a year. Ray, I appreciate you, man. Not just for the words, bro, but for the support. And there are connections that you make in the Miami Dolphins fandom circle, that are for life. I.e., myself and Kadeem met the same way. Myself and Sherrod Steve met the same way. And those are a couple people that I can name that I don't want to celebrate Dolphins wins without. So I appreciate you, Win. I appreciate you, Ray. Appreciate you rocking with us, man. I rock with you too.
You said about celebrating wins, and this photo, Charlie, was taken after the Dolphins had won, because I feel like if it was taken, had the Dolphins lost, it would not be such a good photo. But this photo is with myself and Nat Moore. So the Dolphins flew Nat Moore out to London. He was the host alongside the Dolphin UK podcast, Simon and Lee. And yeah, it was great it's an experience I've never had before. Charlie, you might have had it. Watching an NFL game with a former NFL player. So I didn't get to speak to him as the Dolphins game was going on, but we watched a bit of the Jets and the Vikings game. And just that insight is one of the things where, yeah, he knew what's happening before it happened. It was just brilliant to chat to him, to kind of pick his brain on a few things. And yeah, he was gracious enough to take a photo of me. So Charlie, your new friend of the podcast, Nat Moore.
Hey, shout out to Nat Moore, man. I really rock with you. He really does a ton of things in the Miami, in the community of Miami, not Miami Dolphin community, which he does things in the Miami Dolphin community too, but he does things behind the scenes that people don't know about for the high schools in Miami, Florida, and just Florida in general. Miami Dolphin great, Nat Moore, new friend of the podcast.
100%. JML says, always puts a smile on my face to spend some time at the barbershop. Great show, boys. JML, as always, thank you for the support over here on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Twitter as well, and on Patreon. And then one final thing from me, Charlie. Have you had a chance to see the watch party video?
I did. Kadeem makes several appearances.
So let's quickly bring it up. For those who haven't seen it, and it's quite quick, the Miami Dolphins obviously recorded what happened at the game. They tweeted it out a few hours ago. So I thought, why not better to watch it together, simply because, I happen to be in it more than once. So here's the video the Dolphins posted on social media. Don't play again. Nothing at all. But yeah, that was the Miami Dolphins watch party. One quick thing from me is I managed, if you've noticed, to grab a Miami Dolphins scarf. Nothing, it's upside down. First thing. But yep, just a Miami Dolphins scarf, which I will be giving away to one lucky winner as well. So probably next week, I will be giving away a Miami Dolphins scarf. And I haven't forgotten about this beauty.
Shout out to our friends from Fanatics, our affiliates from Fanatics, gifted us this Miami Dolphin jersey. This is a unique piece of art. Number 66 says Miami Dolphins on the back. Kadeem, boy, I'm very thankful with our partnership that we have with Fanatic.
100%. Yeah, watch party. Yeah, having you down every year would be amazing. Although me and Lee still think Spain is a destination next year for the Miami Dolphins. Rob said, do they do that every year? Yeah, I think it was in Manchester last year. They obviously like it probably will be around the country, the big cities. They might do it in Glasgow, but with good feedback, maybe we can get it in London next year again, but who knows? Sorry. Yeah, Charlie, anything else to add?
Mi España es limitado. Nah, mi español es limitado, but I'll see you in España. Straight up.
Why did you say I see you like in English? Like,
hey, don't worry about that because that's how I do it. That's how you gotta mix it up, bro. That's how you gotta throw it in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, my English, my Espanol, my Spanish ain't there, but I'm going to Spain, Holmes. I'm gonna see you out there. Like, I'm working on it.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like, if you speak someone in Spanish and you screw it up, like they'll be like, I don't know what you just said because of the English bit, but listen, you're learning. So yeah, listen, can't hate it. But no, 2-3 heading into the bye, banged up Dolphins team, but they aren't out of the AFC East by a long shot. And I think they're like a game or a game and a half behind the 3 seed in the AFC as well. So mess around, beat the Colts, get Tua back for the Cardinals, and you go in a little run. That panic meter. Just
right, Kadeem, I'm all I'm saying, and we're gonna get out of here. All I'm saying is everyone wants the championship. I'm not saying we don't, bro. Like 32 teams won the championship. But sometimes it's the stories that come with championships. You know what I'm saying? Like it's yo, we have a story in place that we could build off of, and like, yo, this could be very special. I'm just saying.
Charlie, what a great way to end the episode. It is the bye week. We may not be back this week. We will try to, but just timing, all that kind of stuff. Bye week, great time to refresh, and Hannah Montana is going through it right now. That's all I'm going to say. She is not feeling well, so yeah, this is a great week to put some good husband hours. Like, yeah, I'll be there for you. Or, come to bed early, all that kind of stuff. Like, this is the week to do it. But yeah, until the next one, we shall see you soon. Peace.